side effect of all this, why are you on here speaking about stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with you?
Because it
Do
has to
you
do
do
with the
you
people that I love. It has to do with the people that I care about. And it has to do with about half
directly?
of, and it has to care, and it has to do with about half the people in our nation that are having access to their bodily autonomy. And this concept of bodily autonomy has been fundamentally stripped from them. And this is why I'm talking about it. But
Okay,
I
if it's
appreciate the
fundamental.
fact that you're pro-choice. I'm going to go and move on to the debate. But I do appreciate you for coming up here, and I appreciate all those roses from you guys as well. Let's go ahead and see what Joe has to say. Let's go ahead and see what Joe has to say. Oh, Joe logged out. By the way, for everyone coming in, welcome in, guys. We just started off the stream for tonight. We're running a new topic. I appreciate that, Little Crown Tommy. Let's try to get a debate for you. What's up, Anna? How old are you? Okay, Anna's not here. Don't worry, guys. Just give it a minute. We will get a debate. How about Braxton or Jesse? Let's see what Jesse has to say. And if you do think that abortion's wrong, make sure to hop in those guest requests. And for everyone, say new topic in the chat. Yes, new topic. And everyone, make sure we're tippity tap tapping away that phone screen. 100K likes. Let's do it. What's up, Jesse? Do you think that abortion's wrong?
In the first trimester?
Yes. Thank
I
you for
think
that chat.
so. I
Okay,
think
why?
so. I mean, it can be up to the first trimester. It can be up to 3.5 months.
Well, technically, that's going to be defined as 3 months because that's what a trimester is. But okay, why is abortion wrong?
Well, I think 3 months is like 1/3 of the process. The body's organs are developing and everything.
Grace, thank you for the subscription. Right, so the body's organs are going to be developing, and why is abortion wrong?
I just think, I mean, just you're basically taking a formed life, and just like look at what all these lives could turn into. It could be the next Einstein. It could be the next Tesla. It's a lot of
Right.
different reasons.
So first of all, Tesla isn't a life; that's a company. And then yes, so you're
No,
basically saying that you
Nikolai
value the potential.
Tesla.
One second. So you're basically saying that you value the potentiality of what this life could turn into. It could turn into the next Einstein. It could turn into the next Nikola Tesla. I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. I apologize. Or like the next Elon Musk or the next president. Well, it could also turn into the next Jeffrey Dahmer, the next sadistic serial unaliver, the next Saddam Hussein, or the next Hitler, right? So when we're talking about the potentiality for what this life could incur, I don't think that this is going to bear much on on the morality of abortion to do with that. Thank you so much for that, a mustache. But I don't think I'm like tracking you that well. I'm going to go ahead and tell you why I think that abortion's fine, and I want to hear your response. So first of all, I think that abortion is going to be completely fine in the first trimester. Out of respect to the bodily autonomy of the mother. I think that like bodily autonomy is a huge right that we all have, and I cannot really name another instance where one human will get a right to use another person's body without their consent, right? And then B, I think that what we value or what gives moral importance to humans is consciousness, not biological life, right? And the fetus doesn't have consciousness, it only has biological life. And C, I think that any pro life argument that can be constructed, such as the one that you just made about the potentiality of it to become the next president, is going to be really weak or fallacious. Because what if we knew it wouldn't become the next president? Would abortion be okay then under your worldview? I'm guessing you wouldn't say so.
No. I mean, so what about the father? You don't believe the father should have any choice?
Thank you for that, a mustache. No, because it's not the father's body. It's not the father's womb. It's not the father's, fucking 9 months of pregnancy that would induce trauma. It's not going to be the father that would have to give birth. This has nothing to do with the father. Thank you for the hand hearts. Once again, I preface the notion of bodily autonomy. This is one's ability to do what they want with their body, right? And this is not the father's body, therefore, he doesn't have that access or right.
I don't agree with that.
Why would you disagree with that? I mean, seriously, why would you disagree with that? I mean, are you saying that like men should have control over women's bodies? Because that's basically what you're asserting. Like, unironically, what you just said is you think that the father should have a say in what the mother does with her body, which would
No,
be in
not her,
plain
not her
text. Men
body.
should have control over women's bodies.
No, not entirely. But I think in a pregnancy, there's a mother and a father, and there is different situations why a woman can become pregnant. But what if that was planned and the man was hoping to be a father and the woman just decided to change her mind?
Well, yeah, I think that It would be to do to the last thing that you just said. The mother decided to change her mind. Consent is very context specific, and consent is ongoing. If the mother withdraws consent for the fetus to use her bodily resources, then this would prelude to the act of abortion that would be morally permissible, and the father would have no say because it is not his consent for that pregnancy, it is the mother's because it's the mother's body.
I don't know, man. I'm
Okay,
gonna head out.
Okay, have a good one, Jesse. Appreciate you for coming up, man. For everyone in here, make sure we're tippity tapping away on that phone screen, guys. Let's try to get to 150k likes. Everyone tap the live and share the live with a couple friends right now, y'all. Let's get to 500 shares and 100,000 likes. We're gonna go and get our next guest up in here. Let's see what Outdoor has to say, and also hit that follow button if you haven't already. What's up, man? Oh, he went ahead and lagged out. Let's go ahead and see what our next guest has to say. Let's get Scotty up here. I also really appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you so much. New topic today, but everyone tippity tap for real. What's up, Scotty? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to like get an abortion? Oh, Scotty went on pause. Make sure if we're in those guest requests that we're ready for a debate. Appreciate you for that, Rosie. Hey, what's up, man? Do you think that abortion's wrong?
In a sense.
Okay, why?
Well, basically, like, what you're saying about women, right? They have, it's like their say and all that, but the man should have a say,
Okay,
and not
why?
in a controlling way, because
Why should
it's
a
part of
man
them.
have a say over what a woman
Because
does with her body?
no, it's not over them. They should just have a say in the
Jane,
matter.
thank you for the $2. Okay, yes. So why should a man have a say over what a woman does with her body? And this also doesn't tell me anything about why you think abortion is wrong. I just want to put that out there.
Oh no, no, abortion's not wrong.
Okay, so why should a man have a say over what a woman does with her body?
It's not that. It's the fact that the man has a part of that child or that baby, whatever, so they should have a word in the matter of what they want to do with it.
No, I actually I disagree with you. And like I just want to like give you like I want to give you like the real life examples of why this is going to be fundamentally wrong. So there's only going to be two instances where the father's say would really matter, and that is going to be where the father disagrees with the mother, right? So if both the mother and the father want to keep the child, well, it won't matter what the father thinks because the mother wants to keep it, and if they agree, he's happy. If both the mother and the father do not want to keep the child, it doesn't really matter what the father thinks because the mother agrees and they're both going to be happy. So the only two instances where the father could have a say and it would be relevant to any degree whatsoever is when the mother and the father disagree. In two instances. One where the mom wants to keep the baby and the dad doesn't, and one where the mom doesn't want to keep the baby and the dad does. So are you saying that if the mother wants to keep the baby and the father wants her to get an abortion, that she should have to get an abortion? Or are you
No,
saying that if the mother wants to have an abortion and the father does not want her to have an abortion, she should not be allowed to get an abortion?
they do whatever they want. Like, honestly, they do whatever they want. It's just that they should have a say in the matter. Whether it goes through or not, that
Well,
doesn't matter.
I think like the fundamental like discrepance and what I'm getting at here is that you can express your opinion, but you can't get control, right? So if you're in a
Yeah.
relationship with a woman and you get her pregnant, I
Uh-huh.
think that a father should be able to express his opinion, sure, right? But you shouldn't have you will or you shouldn't be able to express control. Like your
You
opinion
come
does not
to, no,
equivocate to the
there's no control in it. You come to an agreement.
Right, but this is going to be interpersonal between like individuals. Like I hope that you would just find yourself in a relationship where you can agree with a woman or come
Yeah.
to mutual like, agreements. But at the end of the day, that's still just your opinion, right? So like you're going to have to find a woman who consents to having a baby with you because if
Yeah.
a woman does not consent to having a baby with you, then you should have no say in that matter because she doesn't consent. And when individuals do not consent to things and another individual wants them to consent, that's going to be coercement, and coercement is very, very, very wrong. But this doesn't really tell me much about why you think that abortion's wrong. So tell me why you think abortion is morally impermissible.
Well, no, I told you that. It's not wrong.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm up here to debate why it's wrong. I appreciate you for coming up. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next guest, y'all. If we're enjoying the debates, make sure we're tippity tapping away on that phone screen. We're so close to 100k likes, y'all. Let's go ahead and get our next guest up in here. Let's go ahead and talk to Ashley. Our next guest of the night is loading in, guys. Our next guest of the night is loading in. Hello, Ashley. Do you think that abortion is wrong during the first trimester? Okay, unfortunately, Ashley's not here, so we're going to go to move on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and see. I want to talk to a woman. Let's go ahead and see what Emma Jade has to say. Also, make sure if we're in those guest requests that we do think that abortion during the first trimester is going to be wrong. Hello, Emma. How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, unfortunately, you got to be 18 to be in TikTok Lives. I do appreciate you for coming up, though. Let's go ahead and talk to Blessed Days. Our next guest is loading up, guys. I don't think that she's... Oh, she did connect. Hello. How old are you? Hello? Okay, she does not want to debate. Guys, seriously, if we're in those guest requests, you kind of waste the time of a lot of people when you just come up here then dip. Let's go ahead and talk to Rachel. Thank you for the ice cream. I really appreciate that.
The sexy octopus.
Hello, do you think that abortion is wrong during the first trimester?
Yes, I do, but there's circumstances to it.
How old are you?
I'm 18. The
Yeah,
only reason
can you please turn off your
that I
TV?
think-
Can you please turn off your TV or go into a
Yeah,
quieter
sorry,
room?
hold on. Give me a second.
Okay, you're on pause. I 5, 4, 3, 2. She's back. Hello?
Hello?
Okay,
Okay.
so why
The
do you think
only
that abortion's wrong?
reason- Because it's murder or whatever. I agree with that. Like, that's a baby or whatever. But the
I agree
only
it's a
time
baby.
I don't think it's not wrong is when it's like incest or rape. Then
Okay,
I think
so-
abortion's okay. There should
Okay,
be
so I just wanted to put it out there.
circumstances
So you just said the only time that I think that abortion's not wrong is when it's eugenics or grape. I get the grape part. I don't get the eugenics part. I don't get like the eugenics part. The eugenics
You're
part though.
putting a
But now can we
child on the
talk about this?
earth.
One second. So you said that abortion's wrong because it's a baby or whatever. So it is a fetus, right? So why is ending the life of this fetus immoral?
Because that's gonna be a child.
Well,
That's
it is
common
going to be a
sense.
child. It is going to be a
That's common
child.
sense.
But what else is common sense is the fact that women, all people, men and women, have bodily autonomy. And
He
there's
literally-
no... One second. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me.
You interrupt everybody.
Don't
homeboy.
interrupt me. Don't interrupt
All
me.
right, you got it.
So, like in no other instance will people ever say that there is humans that get rights to other people's bodies without consent, right? So consent is very context specific and consent is ongoing. If the mother withdraws the consent of providing her bodily resources to this fetus that is completely and unequivocally dependent upon her, right? This is not going to be immoral out of the respect for the bodily autonomy, and also out of the respect that humans have moral value because humans have a higher level of consciousness, right? Not because of the biological life, and this fetus does not have that higher level of consciousness. Also, thank you for the screenshot of the live. I hope you're enjoying your 5 minutes of fame.
Homeboy, you got 3K views in this live right now.
You just told me it.
Be for real with yourself. Be
Right,
for
so-
real with yourself.
Yeah, I'm not the one who took a screenshot. Can you
just
respond to
took-
anything I just said?
Yes, I did. You were
You
talking about a
responded-
bunch of random
you were-
bullshit to throw me off track like you do everybody else. At this point, it's embarrassing. How long have you been doing these lives?
Okay, so it wasn't random BS and it wasn't embarrassing. I gave you an argument for why abortion's going to be okay, and then you got really sassy and you had an attitude, and
Hey,
now
my
you're
ass too.
crying.
That was funny because that's all you chase.
Yeah, so
You don't let nobody
Rachel,
talk. So many people in this live had valid ass points, but you ain't let them talk.
you're quite literally the first debate of the night.
That's not true. I've literally been on your live.
Okay, so drop the attitude and
You're the
respond to
one
my
with
points.
attitude at everybody. Like, homeboy, why you got stick stub so far up your ass and through your
Okay, Rachel.
mouth? Like, calm it down.
All right, I understand that you're very emotional. It's okay, Rachel. But please go ahead and respond to my points in an intellectual manner.
You sound like a fucking robot.
Okay, Rachel. This isn't so.
Okay.
The fact that you
Rachel.
think I sound like a robot is not going to dismiss or discredit any of the points that I gave you, right? So you said that abortion's wrong because it's a baby or whatever, and then my response to this
that's
is that
wrong.
abortion is
You're-
not wrong?
In the,
No.
in the freaking eyes of Jesus, that is wrong, homeboy. That's just wrong in general.
Yeah, can you prove to me that Jesus was of a divine nature?
But
prove that
don't get me
Jesus is God.
started on this. I respect everybody's beliefs,
I
but
respect rational and
nobody can
substantiated
convince
beliefs.
me. Nobody can convince me that God's not real. So you go ahead with that bullshit, whatever you want to do.
All right, so I'm not trying to convince you that God's not real. I'm asking your
I've watched
justification
your
for God
live,
being
bro.
real.
I'm literally, I ain't gonna lie, I'm low-key a fan. I'd be laughing at your shit, but you just came at me sideways.
Yeah, Rachel, can you please go ahead and substantiate this point that God's real?
Oh my God, that God's real?
Yes, what's your evidence?
I have hope. Whoever believes that God is not real is a sad person. You live a sad life. Who wants to literally live their whole life and then at the end of it be like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna go to sleep and never wake up and not have anything? That's boring.
Okay, so on one
And
hand,
that's sad too. Like, why
okay,
would you
on
want
one
that?
hand, it's not called hope, it's called faith. And then on another
Whatever.
hand,
You know what
the
I'm
argument,
talking
can
about.
you let me talk, please? And then
Well,
the
your voice is
argument,
kind of annoying.
can you let me talk? Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, if you continue to be like really like attitudey and like really irrational and sassy, I'm just gonna move on to the next guest, and I want to get that very straight
They're
with
not
you.
going to say anything besides what I'm saying, homeboy, but go
Oh,
ahead,
I
homeboy.
think that there's going to be multiple guests in the guest box
And
that
you
will
didn't
possess
kick
an
me
IQ above
out.
Kelvin room temp. So anyways, let's talk about this. So your argument for God was the fact that if you did not believe in God, when you finally did like die, you just there nothing would happen, and that's boring and that's wrong. Well, that's called Pascal's wager. You're basically saying that there's like an infinite net benefit to believing in God and a negative infinite net positive to not believing in God. But the problem with this is that it's a fallacy in the fact that, well, what if there's a God that doesn't want you to believe in him? Thank you for that crown. What if there's a God that his form of faith is if you do not believe in him? And if you do not believe in him, then you're going to heaven. And if you do believe in him, you're going to hell, right? So this is basically going to be the inverse of what you just said. And this would justify, a God that did not want you to believe in him, right? So I hope that this shows the absurdity with Pascal's wager.
That was kind of deep.
All right, Rachel, I don't think that you're 18. I feel like you're probably 16. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. All right, guys, make sure we're tapping away on that phone screen, guys. Let's try to get up to 200,000 likes. Let's go ahead and get our next guest up in here. Let's go ahead and see what Shayla has to say. Make sure if we are in the guest request that we do think that abortion's wrong. We're just looking for some debates. What's up, Shayla? Do you think that abortion's wrong during the first trimester?
Hi, what's up? So I just wanted to I wanted to ask you actually if you know about the procedure of abortion.
Yeah, sure. I know a little bit about it. How does this show that
Okay,
abortion's
so
wrong?
so morally, I'm not even going to come at you in a Christ standpoint or any kind of standpoint of like, the Bible or biblically. Basically, what I wanted to say was, and this is like more or so like the way that something that I've noticed from having friends that have had abortions, it is definitely so mutilating to the body, and it's very hard, and it's very unfortunate that like, Planned Parenthood doesn't really educate young women on, the procedures, and it's just not as easy and as casual as like our generation makes it seem. And one thing I just really wanted to make a point on is that it just quite literally doesn't feel right. But I'm not gonna come at you about, being a believer or anything like that. I just wanted to ask you as a man if you like understood, the procedure and like how hard it is on the body. I really do genuinely wish, and I'm gonna let you talk, I just wanted to get this out. I wish that we had more options like genuine healthcare for young women that are having children. We can't really help, unfortunately, how our bodies, operate and, becoming pregnant. I really wish that, and this is just me throwing another option out there. I'm not trying to babble, but I wish that there was like more healthcare for young moms and young women so that it wasn't so hard to be a mother at such a young age.
Right, so sweet. So, like, the first and only point that you made as to show why abortion is wrong is because it apparently mutilates the body, and it's very hard on mothers. So first of all, I hope that you would understand how hard, giving birth is on mothers, because this is going to be the alternative from abortion. So actually, it's 14 times more dangerous to go through with pregnancy and give birth to a child than it is to get an abortion, right? And then apart from this is just an appeal to a aesthetics. I mean, would you then therefore assert that if abortion was a very beautiful and tranquil process, like it didn't cause any harm or any trauma to any degree whatsoever, that it would be morally fine?
I guess I'm not really coming at it at a moral standpoint, and I understand if that's what your argument is going for, and maybe
Well, homie, it's what's the question being asked? The question is if it's right or
why is
wrong.
abortion wrong? Yes, but you said morally, and what I'm saying is it just quite literally doesn't physically feel right. Most of the time, that
Yeah, so why
procedure,
it doesn't feel right to you is because you think it's morally wrong, right?
no,
No,
not
and like, of
necessarily morally.
course, of course, no. If you
No,
if you found no issue with abortion, you wouldn't think that it was wrong. Like when we're talking about right or wrongness, we're talking about morality. And when you say it quite literally doesn't feel right, this is just you saying that it feels fucking morally wrong.
okay,
So
so
why
let
is it
me.
morally wrong to get an abortion, right? Because I just want you to be like very cautious with what you're saying, and I want you to understand the ramifications if what you were saying was societally accepted, like by everyone, right? This would restrict 170 million Americans from access to healthcare. This would impede upon 170 million Americans' bodily autonomy, and this would ingress upon the fundamental rights that we have as moral entities. So this isn't a case where we can
Okay,
just say it feels wrong. We have to be
correct.
able to articulate why it feels wrong. So why is it wrong to get an abortion?
Okay, so let me be choosy on my wording because I don't necessarily mean feels wrong, but quite literally, it just physically isn't like right. If that makes sense, we're
Why?
meant to. Why? Because we're meant to give birth, if that makes sense. I'm only talking from somebody who's had to like genuinely like care for my friends that have gone through abortions. It is emotionally and physically so hard on your body, and it is the same feeling you get from postpartum depression. Your body is still technically like going through the same process that it would, when you're giving birth, but way early on. It's very hard on the
A
body. I'm
body
not
is
really.
meant to a body's meant to like give birth according to whom?
Yes.
No, a body is meant
According
to
to
give
who, that
birth
is
if no, one second. A body is meant to give birth if the individual in question is consenting to giving birth. I don't think that
what
anyone is meant to do anything that they do not consent to. And
you.
consent is very context specific and consent is ongoing. So we could just say, is a man meant to finish when engaging in the act of intercourse? Well, no, not if the female withdraws consent. So according to whom is someone meant to give birth?
Wait, so we're not talking about like you're saying genuinely that like birth giving birth should be consentful? Like you think I'm just like confused how that is being compared to finishing as a man. That's my question. Like
Yeah,
I'm
like the
saying
comparison in
physically,
question. The
I'm
comparison
only
in
saying
question is
phys-
we have these two actions that are ongoing, and you can withdraw consent from the two actions at any point because both of the two actions involve your bodily autonomy. No, someone is not meant to give birth if they do not want to give birth. And then, not
but we're
to
not talking
mention,
about if you want to or not. We're talking about what your
of
body is
course
physically
we
meant to
are.
do. No, we're talking
Of
about what your
course
body
we
is
are.
physically meant to do.
So are you saying that if your body is capable of something, that means that it's okay to force you to do that against your will?
But giving birth is not forcing. That is our body anatomy, like you said. Like that is not even close to being compared to
No.
to
Giving birth isn't
masturbation.
forcing. What
It
the
is
force
wild to
is, no,
me.
no, 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 one second. What the force is restricting the access to abortion from women. If
I know,
women
but
cannot get an abortions, you are effectively forcing them to give birth. So just because a body is capable of something does not mean that they should be forced to do that something against their will. And this tells me nothing about why you're
no, but my
pro-life. This tells me
question.
nothing about why you think the healthcare, the bodily autonomy, and the fundamental rights of half of our country should be infringed upon.
Okay, my question. I'm just like actually like astounded that you as a man just compared giving birth to masturbation. That
It
is
was a
not the
logical
same
no, it was a logical
physical
analogy of two
autonomy. Let me
instances where
finish
consent is
too.
ongoing. No,
Okay.
no, it was a logical analogy of two instances where consent is ongoing, and you should be able to withdraw consent at any point.
All right. Well, thank you for your debate. I appreciate it.
There was
Bye.
nothing debated because you didn't tell me why you think abortion's wrong.
Not
Thank you for that,
necessarily.
mustache. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Well, apparently, folks, she thinks that, All women should be forced to remain pregnant and give birth against their will because she feels like it's wrong. Anyways, we're gonna go and move on to the next guest here, chat. Make sure we're tippity tapping away in that screen, folks. Let's try to get up to 500,000 likes, and also share the live with a couple friends. Let's get to 500 shares right now, guys. 500 shares right now, and hit that follow button if you haven't already, baby. Let's go and get our next guest of the night up here. Let's go ahead and see what another woman has to say. Let's go ahead and talk to Megan. I'm really happy that this is a topic where, thank you so much for the cheer squad, where I can involve like both men and women, because like usually it's just men in my requests, especially on like the why is it wrong to be gay topic. Megan didn't connect. Let's go ahead and see what Sweet Nessa has to say. Thank you for the cat applause. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Our next guest is loading in here right now, chat. Sometimes TikTok is a little bit slow, and they're not connecting once again. Make sure we're in those requests if we do think that, abortion is going to be wrong or immoral. How about Ash? Let's go ahead and see what Ash has to say. Hey, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2000.
You're not 18. All right, moving on to the next guest here. Next guest is loading up. Hey, how old are you?
Hello.
Hey, how old are you? Can you answer the question? Dude. Dude, bunch of minors. Bunch of fucking minors in the guest request today. Like, man. Hello, do you think, how old are you?
Hi, I'm 27.
Sweet. So do you think that abortion's wrong during the first trimester?
Yes, I think it is wrong.
Okay, why?
Well, I don't believe it should. I don't believe in abortion overall, and I don't think that if you plan to do it, you should, have sex unprotected.
Right. So, when I asked you why you think abortion's wrong, I didn't just ask you to repeat yourself and say that you don't agree with abortion. Thank you for that cap. And then B, 54% of elective abortions are done as the result of a failure of contraceptives.
Right.
And C, consent is ongoing. So even if they did consent to unprotected sex, this is not consenting to pregnancy, and this is definitely not ongoing consent. So why is abortion wrong?
I only believe that abortion should be done if the person got raped. I wouldn't.
Homie, nothing about what you're saying answers my question to any regard whatsoever.
Okay, ask your
Why is
question again,
elective?
sir.
Give me your reasoning to believe that elective abortion during the first trimester is wrong.
Why it's wrong? Because I don't believe in abortion. I don't think that a person should do it overall, but it's their
Why?
choice.
Why
As I
don't you
said,
believe in abortion?
well, I have 3 kids of my own, and I love kids, and I don't think that they deserve to not be here. As I said, if you didn't plan on doing it, then you should protect yourself.
Right. So are you saying that if a woman's on birth control and she still gets pregnant, that
It's
abortion's
her
okay?
choice. I am a woman.
No,
It's my
hey, can you,
choice.
one
Not.
second. Nothing about what you're telling me, is like giving me any reason why you think that abortion's wrong. I don't think the fact that you have 3 kids is going to justify why abortion's going to be morally wrong, and I don't think the fact that people have unprotected sex is going to justify why you think that abortion's wrong, considering majority of
I
abortion
don't.
is a result of a failure of contraceptives. So if
Yeah,
a
it's
woman uses
failure of
one
it.
second. So if a woman is on birth control, is it morally permissible for her to get an
I got
abortion?
pregnant and birth control, so I don't believe in birth control either.
Okay, man. I really just, you're not answering any questions. I'm going to move on to the next guest. I make sure if we are in this guest request, guys, this is a debate. I'm not asking about what you believe. I'm asking why you believe in it. So we're just going to move on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and see what the Dozer has to say. Next guest is loading in here, guys. If you're enjoying the content, seriously, hit that follow button. Also, tippity tap away on that phone screen. Let's get to 500,000 likes here, chat. Everyone tap away. Let's go ahead and get our next guest, Philip, up in here, guys. Also, share the live to a couple friends. Everyone.